Hey, welcome back to the Signature Movement. It's your girl Tanya D. Floyd. I'm in a way right now. Look, I am positive the devil wants me dead. But he don't want me to just end up dead. He want me to die right now. Whew, look here. I gotta do a lot of soul searching. Yeah, my hand is, I wash them all day, every day, lots of times. There's some puppy stuff, all kind. Just keep washing them. I ain't even got time to put lotion on, because if I do, I'm just had to wash it right off. So say what you want. Yeah, my hands is rough. I do what I gotta do. But here's the thing. I've been furious, just pissed about some things. And I've been doing some soul searching about, like, how much do you tell the people? I don't want to sound like I'm ever pandering to the people. I don't want to sound like I am not being authentic with the people. I put this process in place. I'm here on this platform. I have written 9 books about being honest with yourself, self-awareness, self-motivation, soul-searching type, how to deal with people, but you got to learn how to deal with yourself first kind of stuff, right? Everything I've ever created was about looking at oneself and making the necessary assessments and adjustments so that you can, A, go out here in the world and survive without people triggering you every time you turn around. B, or 1, 2, whatever. I want you to be able to, I used to teach my kids this too growing up. I would always tell them, I need you to understand a lot of stuff about people, but I need you to understand more about yourself so that you can know when people are trying to maneuver you and when people are doing you wrong and when people just don't even deserve your time and attention. You need to know enough about you and them so that you can navigate these waters, right? All growing up, the whole time, I've just been telling them that. And I've been practicing what I preach. And I've been writing about it because I feel like the lessons that I taught them, maybe somebody else's kid might find it one day and it'll be beneficial. Or maybe some adult will stumble across it one day when they're having some kind of situation. And, it'll be that breath of fresh air or something. I'm just always about truth, honesty, responsibility, accountability, and being honest with yourself first. That is my primary goal in this life, to be aware and to proceed in knowledge, right? 9 books, 9. A lot of people still don't even know it past the first book. People that I know, but it's fine. It's fine. It wasn't for them, clearly. It's for somebody else. But I say all that to say, I have trouble some days coming to this platform or even putting stuff on paper because it has been so intimate and so honest and so, emotionally driven that it makes me vulnerable. And I'm not afraid to be vulnerable, obviously, because I keep putting the shit out there, right? But I wanted to connect with people honestly. So it gives me grief some days when I come here and I don't tell you the whole story because I don't want the narrative to become, oh, she mad about this, or she, feeling so and so and so and so, and they take it and do it. I want it to be what I said it is. And I want it to come across the way I meant it to come across. So sometimes I process it first and then I bring it to you, or I keep it because I feel like, it might put somebody else in a bad light. But I saw this thing once. I was podcasting back in 2013 and I saw this, maybe something on Pinterest. It was like a note, a sticky note paper, and it was typed on it. It said, if people wanted you to speak fondly of them or speak well of them, they should have behaved better. Something like that. I'm going to find it because I want it to be exact. But the message is, if they wanted you to say good shit about them, they should have behaved better. So I'm not protecting people no more. I got to just I think the way I process things and internalize every single thing is becoming a bigger problem than it ever was because it just keep piling on. So let's take this a little bit. How you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Let's take this one bite at a time. Let's talk about the first thing. Finance. Y'all know the devil been after me in finance, right? So I lost the lawsuit. I shouldn't have lost. I had all the information. Now, let me talk about record keeping for a second while we right here on this finance and all that. It goes together, I promise you. I got a letter today. I've been waiting for this letter. I've actually been waiting for something way longer than I should have. I was audited by the state of Maryland. I live in Maryland. I filed taxes in Maryland. I record accurate and responsible documents, and I all the things you're supposed to do for your taxes. I do that. I worked for IRS for 30 years and 3 weeks. I was under intense scrutiny at all times because I worked at the IRS. The way they do things is, if you work for IRS, I don't know if they do the contractors the same, but you are held to a higher standard for your tax records than any other citizen in America because you work at IRS. You're supposed to do better. And they're going to make sure you do better. They got a whole employee tax compliance unit that's out there looking around at your records. They got like programs and algorithms. When you file your shit, if something's wrong, first it's going to flag it in the, IRS system. Then it's going to flag it in the employee system. And then they're going to call your supervisor and say, so-and-so got this error or this situation, or they didn't, file timely, or they filed timely, but they did not pay by the due date. Now, when you work there, ain't no payment arrangements. You got to pay it right now. If it say pay by October, you got to pay it by then, or they calling your manager. It's real. So all that to say, basically, when I file my tax returns, I don't play no games. Even though I don't work there no more, I don't want that drama. Because in 2001, when I was married, something happened, and our accountant was into some shady stuff, and they audited me that first year. Well, they audited us that year. They audited me every single year after the separation, after the divorce, all the way up to 2011. I ain't playing with them people. I give them people what they supposed to have, okay? That's how I live my life. I pay my taxes. I keep good records. Because they're going to keep coming back. And when they start with 1 year at the IRS, they can go back 3 years. So keep all your shit for 3 years like they told you to, okay? They don't play no games with that. So anyway, for 12 straight years, or 11 straight years, however many years it was, audit every year. So, state of Maryland, you are no match for me. But here's the letter. I got a letter today that says, basically, first of all, I was pissed when I got the letter because it says, Tanya D. Floyd, apartment 702. Ain't no apartments in here. This is a single family home, the same one I have since 2009 in the state of Maryland, where I always get my tax statement. Ain't no apartment number on it. Why would you insult me by sending me an apartment number on this one sheet, 1-page letter? Basically, it's not even a letter. It's a notice that says for 2021 you owe us $5,000 because the amount you should have paid that year was $3,000 something, but penalties and interest, you owe us $5,000 now. And I'm upset about that, but I'm very offended by the triflingness that was involved in arriving at all of this. So in April 2022, I had filed my tax return on time because that's what I do. And they said, you're not getting a refund this year. You getting a letter. So I got a letter, and they said, we're auditing you. Send us XYZ, blah, blah, blah. Long list of all these things to justify these expenses and deductions and so and so and so and so. Now, I wasn't really feeling that because I was already in the court system doing that whole thing. And I didn't know it, but I was about to lose. I was still fighting that, and I didn't have my attorney was suspended. It was that whole, I talked about it. Go back. But all the stuff was going on. I'm like, this is dumb. It's annoying, but I did what they said, right? So I got all the documents that I could get. Now, let me talk about these documents. I don't know how you do your tax stuff, but in my life, I have head of household, me, my house, my kids, my expenses for this. Signature Suites, that's a business. It has its own EIN number. It's a separate entity from the Signature Movement or the Signature Interiors part where I do the renovations and the design and everything to do with people in their houses and stuff, right? Whole nother business, right? Whole nother entity. Then I have real estate. I am a realtor. I have a brokerage that pays me. I get a 1099 from them. So that's 4 separate parts of my life that I have to account for in tax records. Now, for the business part, I have a checklist. I used to have an accountant that filed my taxes every year, but he had a stroke some years back, and I had to start picking it up myself. But because he had it laid out so nicely, all I needed was the checklist. And I get my records together every single year based on that checklist. For real estate, do you have these subscriptions accounted for? Do you have the income accounted for? Obviously, the income, but any commissions and fees and so on. So you had to pay to the brokerage or to other realtors. It's a breakdown, the whole thing, right? Over here, Signature Suites. Do you have supplies? Do you have your cost of goods sold information worked out? Like, how much did you buy? How much did you pay for all these supplies and cake pans and liners and this and that and the other that you needed? And, how much did you earn from sales at the vendor stations? How much cash did you take in? I took the cash box. Yes, I made the deposits because when you're in business for yourself, your deposits are everything. That's your paycheck. That's like, I made so-and-so, but how do you show that if you didn't deposit it into a bank and get a record for it, right? So here's a whole lesson I think I was going to have to give, but let's just do it right. So you got to account for every single thing in that category over there. It's a baking business, so yeah. What pans did you buy this year? What, the thing. The stuff to make the food with, the stuff to make the food in, any other subscriptions and marketing and the website and all the stuff. You got to account for it. Got a checklist, right? Then over here, I might have missed something. But, for the Signature Interiors part, or the Signature Movement, the Signature Moves, Design Moves. Signature Design Moves. Okay, so for that part, I got to have a lot of stuff categorized, like, who else did I pay? Because I paid other vendors to do services on my projects, right? I paid somebody to paint. I paid the carpenters. I paid basically the customer pays me and I pay them. So I'm going to stop doing that too. I need a new business model because I need the customer to hire their own contractors from there on, because good help is hard to find and I can't be responsible for all that. But I'll come and give you the plan and manage the project and all that. But I pay a lot of people. I get paid a lot of money to do the whole project and source all the materials, all of them. I source everything for my projects. So I got a checklist for that. So I have 3 bank statements. Because I'm a realtor, I didn't make it a separate business entity by itself with an LLC or anything. It's just me. So anything I make as a realtor or any other little stuff I might sell or do is that piece. Then there's the interior piece, and then there's the suite piece. So always gonna have 3 Schedule C's, which is the form to file your business expenses and losses on, right? Okay. So I keep all of that together until I need it. Then I separate it all by SS, SI, and SR. And then I start putting my numbers together, and then I would do the other part for like this piece on the tax return was business use of home. So you can take your home expenses, you need your mortgage statement and whatever. You can claim your interest and I don't think you can claim your real estate taxes, but different pieces of your house and the maintenance and upkeep of your house and any renovations you might have done in your home that year or whatever. All of that and your utilities and your lawn man, everything that it costs to keep your house up for that year. You can keep a record of those things, and you can deduct a portion based on how big your home office is. That's why, I don't know if you've heard me say it, but if you're going to start a home-based business, make sure you got a home-based office space that you can claim, because you can write off a bunch of other stuff because you got a small business in your house. Your house is now, a part of the business. You can deduct part of that, right? Okay. I got all this down. I don't play about this stuff, right? So after 14 months, and at least 3 different times I reached out by email, because they say, reach out to CAMS, blah, 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 whatever ID number they give you. And you can talk to the tax person on the letter that sent you the audit request, right? Keep sending out these emails, like every 3 months or so. I'll be like, I know I sent you a lot of information, but I might have missed a piece, so let me know if you need something else to help you process this audit, right? And at first I wasn't getting no response, but then eventually I would get a response to say, please allow up to 8 to 12 months for this to be complete, blah, 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 we'll let you know. You ain't listening to me though, but okay. So then about the 3rd or 4th time, I sent the email to say the exact same kind of thing, but I always, working in the federal government, here's what I learned. Keep a paper trail. Union office. Rule number 1, paper trail. Document everything. So every time I send an email, I reply to the 17,000 emails that went before it on the same email thread, so we can all know what we all talking about, who we all talking to, and we not playing no games, right? So I reply to the same thread each time. You look down the thing of email traffic, and you can see what was said and how many times and who and all that, right? So I replied one more time on the train, and I said, it's been 14 months. Is this audit concluded? Am I getting a letter? Am I getting some information? What do you need from me? Again. This time, somebody replies and says, the audit has concluded. You'll get a letter in 2 to 3 weeks. I don't know why it's going to take me 2 to 3 weeks to get a letter from Annapolis, Maryland, but okay. So anyway, I got the letter. I'm sorry, I didn't get the letter. I got this envelope with a pink envelope for me to send my payment, and one sheet of paper that says State of Maryland Personal Income Tax Computation Notice. Now, it has my name, it has my last 4 of my social, my tax year, the notice number, and the date it was sent, and it reads, payment was due when your return was submitted. The calculation of interest and or penalty for tax paid after the due date has been applied. Failure to pay may result in collections activities, a hold, this is the piece that sent me over, a hold on the renewal of your professional license. I'm a realtor. Maryland driver's license, need that. And or vehicle registration, need that too. Oh yeah, you can deduct expenses for your vehicle, and if it's a really big heavy vehicle that you use for work, you can deduct all of that in 1 year. But I'm not a tax professional, I just do this shit, okay? The second line says the expenses you claimed were not incurred or could not be substantiated, or there was no reasonable basis for claiming the deduction. Penalty has been assessed pursuant to Section 13-703 or 13-705 of the Tax General Article, Annotated Code of Maryland. And then there's this worksheet that says how much they say I earned that year, because it's not what I earned that year. It's a lot of, the tax, the county, this, that, and the other, the localities, this, that, and the other, all of the fees that come from all of the stuff that come with that income. And at the bottom, you owe us $5,000. So many things in there piss me off. So many things about it. The 702 part, all of it. It's wrong. Okay? So I sent an email back today to that same thread, and I said, well, I will read it to you. My phone charging. I can't read it to you, but I ain't gonna lie. I don't be lying. I don't have time for that. But anyway, so basically I said, I received notice number blah, blah, blah today. I don't understand what the fuck y'all doing over there, because this is bullshit. The numbers are contrived. I don't live in apartment 702. You couldn't even have the decency to send it to the right address. And then on top of that, I don't trust your ability as a tax professional or auditor or any of that, because where you get these numbers from? There's no explanation of your actions. You audited me, but you did not explain how you disallowed my whole entire existence, basically. Because what did it say? It wasn't warranted, or it wasn't something. What are the words they use? Whatever the hell words they use. Basically, I don't have no businesses. I don't have no right to deduct no expenses for no businesses. And whatever else the hell I put on the damn paper was all bullshit. And just pay us based on these numbers that we gave you. Where's your substantiation, ma'am? Where do you get this from? I ain't paying nothing. And don't be threatening my licenses or nothing else. Because it's ignorant. I use the words offensive. I use the word... I know I said you should be ashamed. I don't know how you process things, but this is not... I use the words, I worked for the IRS for 30 years. I know how to prepare a tax return and be accountable and have good records and substantiate every deduction that I put on my paper. So whatever you did to audit my processes was inadequate. It was inaccurate. It was... I use a lot of words. I didn't cuss. I use a lot of words. And it was like 3 people on the email. Somebody's manager, I hope, is on there. And then at the bottom, I basically said, kindly direct me to who's in charge, because this is not how things are done. And it's just the way you treat Maryland citizens. I'm a responsible tax-paying citizen. I made over $147,000 in 2021. I accounted for every dollar. I sent them personal bank statements for each business. So that's like, how many bank statements? Like 36 of them. I sent them everything, except I didn't go so far as to send each receipt, because like when I order t-shirts, I got a room full of shit that I pay for these businesses. I got video. I run a goddamn business. What the hell you mean it's not, whatever the hell the word is they saying it ain't, I can't claim it. What's the word? I want to remember that it was that first word that started my clock to ticking. Was not, what did they say? It was either not incurred. Expenses not incurred, my ass. I can't send you 22 credit card statements. Oh God, it would be more than that, actually. If I sent for the 22 credit cards that I had in my possession that I was using for business or whatever, if I have statements for each one of them, you know how much paper that is? You know how much money that's going to cost for me to reproduce? So what I do is, what they ask you to do, they want you to summarize everything. They want you to break down each thing. So here's how I do it. Maybe it'll help somebody. Maybe record keeping ain't your thing. It ain't really something I like to do, but I know how to do it, and I like getting it right. So what I do is, every time I buy t-shirts or tumblers or freaking a basket or whatever I use for my crafts and stuff, the Cricut itself, all that shit downstairs, bookcases to make it all be organized and all that, it's deductible. It is. I don't give a fuck what they say. But all of the shit in my office that I have, that I paid money for, I have a drawer where I can, you know, the little organizer on top of your desk. I take each one, the packing slip, and the invoice that come with the things that I buy, and I stick them in that drawer. And at the end of the year, I go add that shit up, and I put it under work supplies, or it's another category. I can't think of it right now. It's, you know, you got office supplies, then you got other supplies for work. Add all the shit up, put it on the box right there. That's how much I spent that time. Then, cell phone bill, you can write that off too if it's for business. I keep thinking of stuff in the intro. But I'm at 24 minutes and I ain't even said half of what I want to say. But I don't want to keep you. I'm just telling you the real, right? So anyway, keep categories. Get a checklist. What all the things on this, oh my God. Self-employment. Keep all of the things that you can deduct because you're self-employed. Get a checklist to say how much you made, get a line in where you write in how much you spent on supplies, how much you spent on office supplies like your pens, your pencils, whatever you need to run the business in that spot. Keep a line where you say how much you spend on software. Well, if you buy Microsoft Office every year is $100 and something dollars, then you gotta have memberships to certain places. Well, Sam's Club has a membership, Costco has a membership. Wherever you spend money to make sure you can get the things for your business, keep all of that. Everything you buy on Amazon, I'm not gonna send you 1,000 sheets of paper from Amazon because I bought 17 things for different people on different accounts. You got to compile all that and you put it on the paper like the IRS. Once you just put the number on the form, that's it. And if they ask you about it, just bring all the shit with you. But it's 2023. It was 2022 at the time. So why the hell can't I just give you a flash drive or something? But no, they want you to either print out everything they ask for. You know how much that shit gonna cost? Even if you print it in black and white. So I sent the emails that they asked me to send, because that's one of the options. You can email it. Well, it's an audit, so it's going to be a lot. I sent like at least 4 emails where they told me you got too many megabytes in this email. You need to pull something out or whatever. So I just kept sending email with all the documents that I had electronically. I still got paper files. How much is that going to cost? I don't have it. How much is it going to cost if I print it out and ship it? I don't have it because they didn't call me in the office. And that's another thing. You can't just have an audit where you used to have one and go, because post-COVID. You can't go sit in the office with a box of papers that you kept because it's a box of papers worth of shit that they asked you for. So send the emails, or you can mail it. How much is that going to cost? Who's paying for it? Nah. So I sent them everything I could send them electronically. I scanned some stuff, but I feel like a file is a great thing. You can zip it. You can put it all on a flash drive, but then they're going to say, oh, it's malware. I can't open that. I'm not putting that in my computer, blah, blah, blah. So I did what they asked me to do, and I added what they requested was a summary. So I summarized for them just like I summarized for you at the end of the year when it's tax time. This is how I do it. This is what I use. That, anybody can follow that damn roadmap. I don't care what profession you in. You can follow that roadmap that I sent them. Because I sent it just that good. They didn't look at nothing. 14 months of you saying you working on it and you ain't did shit. You can't even tell me where you came up with these numbers. Where the fuck did these numbers come from? These ain't my numbers. I didn't make $77,000. I don't even know where you got that from. What did you disallow to get that? Who disallows income? I know I made over 147, and I know damn well I put it on that tax return that I made over 147. Where you get 77 from? Who's explaining that? So there's that. And then, systematically, because the devil, he run all this. My son's benefits. They keep playing with me about my son's benefits. Every time I turn around, they saying they're going to stop his benefits from coming. Well, I need to know why you going to stop his benefits from coming, because we did everything you asked us to do. Sent you everything you ever asked for. I don't understand. So, I got to keep fighting with those people on the phone. I sent you that. Why would you close out my case? Well, I see where it was sent, but the system closed it out, so you got to reapply. I'm not. Send it to somebody else. Who's next on this escalation? Who gets this next? Because we're not doing that. And then they be acting like I said something wrong. Because I be like, no. Federal government training. 30 years working in bullshit, red tape, bureaucracy. I know damn well it's somebody else. You ain't it. They wouldn't have your job. They need to be up high so they can tell you what to do. Because they wouldn't want to work with the public. That's not where they go. The people with the real power, they up there, they don't deal with the public. That's not how they do things. So yeah, send it to somebody else. Anyway, then let me see, what else did I do? What other that's enough financial shit, isn't it? That's enough. 14 months, I had a $1,600 tax refund coming. That was it. Why we doing this? And then that means that because they disallowed it for 2021, they're going to come with some 2022 shit because they couldn't even process my tax return for 2022 until this was resolved. So for my last return, I'm probably not going to get that either. Because they're going to say, well, you didn't have a legitimate reason to claim any of these things. But how the fuck do you say I didn't have a legitimate anything? Anybody who look at anything of mine knows this is what I do. I'm tired. I'm tired of people just trying to steal from me. Which brings me to the people. Am I finished with the finance? That was enough. That was a lot. Somebody else in finance trying to screw me. I told y'all I lost the lawsuit and they want to, well, I know it's a lien on my house already because that's how they do in Maryland. If you lose the lawsuit, the first thing they do is go after your assets. So they put a lien on my house. And yes, they could force me to sell it. Yes. And yes, I'm bankrupt. I say it all the time. It ain't a joke. I'm bankrupt. I don't have nothing. They went after bank accounts, garnished what I had, and now I can't have a checking account in my name because, well, they're going to go get it. But my businesses, I guess, are somehow off limits because now, I don't know if you know this, but business income, or let me say it this is the least confusing way. Business revenue, whatever money you bring in from your business is not income until after you do your taxes and assess out all your deductions and your expenses. So your business, like let's say you bring in $5,000 in your makeup business. Well, you still had to buy brushes and you had to pay for some, special handy dandy cleaner machine, or you had to buy the actual makeup itself. You had to get transportation to the clients and there's expenses, which business, right? So that $5,000 had to pay for all that other stuff, and whatever's left at the end is a profit. That's income. Profit equals income in business. Okay? So I made $147,000 in those 3 businesses in 2021, but at the end of the day, I did not make $147,000, if that makes sense. The profit was not anywhere near there after all the expenses. And since I get to claim my house expenses, it paid for some of that too. So yeah, I told the lady, all the ladies, you should be ashamed. It's wrong. But we're not gonna keep talking about that tax crap. We talking about something else. But anyway, what was I even talking about? I don't know. I'm that bad. I'm in a thing today. Okay. Because after all of that, it's garbage. And then I've been trying to get a job because business ain't what it used to be. And shit, I can't even deduct it. What the fuck I need to work it for? Because I love it. It's what I was put here for. All those things. I make great desserts. I should share those with people because that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I have a wonderful eye for design and, structure and style and function and all the things. I'm so good at it. It's a gift. God gave me that. I'm going to use it. But I understand why people check out. I understand why people circumvent the system because the system is rigged and it's some garbage and there's people working in it who ain't even happy with themselves or their job. So how they going to judge me? I understand. But I'm not going to do wrong because God's watching me. And I'm going to tell you this. I say all the bad words. I do some things sometimes that will make you go, girl, that ain't godly. But I'm trying to tell you, the depth of my faith is justified because I know I couldn't navigate none of this without him. Okay? None of it. I would have been jumped off a damn bridge. I can't manufacture none of this. Let me just say for the record, I got a nice house. It ain't my dream house that I'm about to build when all my things are the way they should be, but I got a nice house. It's a decent size for the people that need to be in it. It's very well designed because I did it myself. It's got all the features that I wanted to have now. It's perfect for me. God did that. It wasn't me. I can't do none of this. My faith is deep and it's justified, okay? And it's not just about the house. It's about the abilities that I have. It's about the intelligence and the intuition it's about all the things that make me me and that, make up my life and my lifestyle. I know that he working on it. So, it's not that the devil's going to win, but I know I can't beat him. I know I can't beat him. He know more about me than I do today. I can't win. But my faith is deep and it's justified, okay? So, you hear me saying all this? Because I'm about to explode. I swear I was walking around today like, I'm going to lose my mind and I'm going to scream at somebody who don't deserve it or something. So I'm talking to the people. You mind? I hope you don't mind. I gotta talk to the people. I got people around me. He using everything he can because he know my faith is deep and justified. Shut up, dog. See? This dog over here whining because I don't want it. This little baby in here, why he ain't in school? Because his school ain't started yet. I don't even know what the fuck school he going to, but his mother, that's a whole nother story. His mother. She's now my grandson's mother. She ain't my daughter. I don't know that, bro. But that chick, you ever had somebody in your house talking shit to you? And then they start talking shit about what they not gonna pay you? Cause you alright? And all this shit you was gonna pay anyway? You ever had somebody just stand in your face where you did not ball up your fist and knock the hell out of them or throw them down a set of stairs because the kid was sitting there looking at you and you don't want them to look at you bad? You ever been in a situation where somebody's literally standing in front of you and you want to wring their fucking neck but you don't because the kids might see? You had somebody in your space that just doing so much that you want to call the police on them, but you don't want to see have the kids see them taken away that way? You ever? That motherfucker's crazy. She's my grandson's mother. Somebody gonna say you raised her. I didn't raise that. I raised a person to age 18 who then decided to take the reins and go left. It's her choice. It's her life. But it's not my responsibility anymore to care for someone who wants to actively destroy me or defy me. You know what I'm saying? It's your choice to go out there and live with them. Because all the stuff that come with those, you chose that too when you made that choice. Been back here twice. Left, went to live by yourself. Fine. Didn't work out. Okay, come back with a baby. That's fine. We'll work it out. Community. I've been trying to preach community to these people. Just because community is about not necessarily blood or family or whatever. It's about a group of people who decide that they want to live a certain way and have a certain amount of amenities, and they all contribute to it and they all benefit from it. It's a village. I'm trying to start here, but they don't want it. It's fine. They no longer invited to my village anyway. That other kid want to keep talking shit to me over the phone because he fucked up his life so bad, making these choices and not wanting to accept the consequences. He keeps calling me with these problems, and then I give him a solution, and he get mad because I gave him a solution. Don't talk to me no more, little boy. Keep saying I'm a grown man. You legal, but you ain't grown. You're not an adult. You're immature. And that ain't my doing either. I taught you all the basics. I showed you the way, and you keep acting like because I was doing it, I got to keep doing it because I do it so well. No, it's for you to learn it and do it. Anyway, yeah, he said some mean things to me. Let me tell you the whole situation. You tell me what you think. Don't tell me no. Just think about it. So, he called me the other day. His car got totaled. He got a son. They both have a son apiece. So he has a son, and I think he's doing okay as a dad. He's keeping him a priority. I ain't gonna say he putting him first, but he's a priority. So if the baby needs, he gonna find a way to get it. And all the facts. Stick to the facts. So the fact is, insurance would be so sky high for him at this point. I said, go get a car that you don't have a car note on. I will put it in my name. I will get it registered and put tags on it. and I will put you and it on my insurance. But you got to pay the insurance. You know what he said to me? I feel like you're just trying to get me to pay your insurance. You're not trying to help me. Okay. And then he said some other stuff, and he kind of doubled down on that thing. I had an idea, and I was going this way, and you trying to get me to deviate so you can get me to pay your bill? That ain't cool. I ain't never had no help. And that's another thing. I ain't never had no help. I ain't never had no this, that, and the other. So-and-so over there living with their parent right now, and they splitting the rent. You ain't never split no rent with me, goddammit. So how you gonna compare? You want to split my rent? Let's do that. You can't even pay your cell phone bill. I'm so done. So done. But see, the devil just trying to take me out, and I know it. But my faith is deep and it's justified. So this is a mere inconvenience, and this is for today. It's temporary. I said all the stuff that I needed to say because I don't feel like I need to explode anymore, but I gotta tell you, it's hard. I know it's hard. I know when you out there having your struggles, you thinking about everything as looking at solutions and how you can do da. But I have learned that it's not up to me to do. It's up to me to pray for help to do, or to get it done. Pray for help to get it done. I can't do it, and I gotta stop trying to act like I got all the solutions and the answers, because I didn't build this, so I can't even maintain it. You know what I'm saying? I can only put in a request, put in an appeal. I used to say this all the time, there's always an appeal in heaven. Okay? So whatever the problem is, whoever the problem is with, there is always an appeal in heaven. Okay? If you don't remember nothing else I say today, and if you can get past all the bad words I say, know that I don't care what system, structure, president, king, none of it. Whoever it is, there's always an appeal in heaven. So you got to keep your eyes on that. Keep building that faith. It's justified. He see it. And he sees what you're doing in the midst of all of it. So don't let them push you into sin. Don't let them force you into behaviors that you have been delivered from. It's like, I always envision like this. Back in the day, and I'm dating myself, we had radiators in the house. The radiator was a plumbing system, basically, where all the water ran through each radiator receptacle, and those coils, the cast iron radiator heated the water inside, and the hot water was what heated the home, right? The radiator had hot water and it heated the home. Well, you know where there's hot water, there's steam, right? Every now and then, the radiator would just get too much pressure, so you had this little valve on it where you had to just turn it and relieve some of that steam pressure so that you can tighten it back up and then let that sucker just keep radiating that heat, right? Every now and then, you would have to get the key and turn this thing and bleed some of the water out of the radiator too. All maintenance to keep the heat coming without cracking the radiators or some of the other plumbing that took the water to the radiators, right? So in life, we have lots of pressure. Sometimes you got to turn that valve, let some of that steam out. Sometimes you got to bleed that radiator, let some of that water out, and then start it back up. Yeah. This here was a release. I needed that release. Because everywhere I go, I can see he trying to take me out. He ain't trying to take me out gradually. He trying to take me today. Because literally almost every day of my damn life, I walk around with a new layer of problems on top of the ones I already had. Jesus. Yeah, say Jesus. In Jesus' name, it's the only way you will get these things taken care of, I'm trying to tell you. Woo. So whatever you believe, I want you to keep working on that. I want you to stay focused on that. And I want you to remember there's always an appeal in heaven. He's always watching. And You just make sure you don't step outside the lines and try to do more than you're qualified for, and don't try to retaliate, because vengeance is not your job. I wish I was on vacation today. I swear. But I feel like I missed something I said I was going to say, but that was a lot. It's been 45 minutes. I appreciate your time. God help me. All right, y'all have a great day.